We had to use a fax machine. Piece by piece. Then straight away call the reporter. No, hey,
Hello? We are faxing now. Please go and pick it up.
it started in January 2020. By April 2020, of course, we had COVID. I told a particular banker, I feel like my life has cut a few years just going through your paperwork. I said, wow, which era are we in, man, today?
Government contract that you have.
成交. End of episode.
Hello.
Finally.
Finally.
Welcome.
Wow. Nowadays got the reception.
Not bad,
Last time don't have one, last time. Welcome to a special edition of the Irene Ang Show in collaboration with Singtel's Singapore Dreamin.
See, all got things on. These people all terrible.
Then they never lock.
This is like a wheel of fortune. Then you open all.
This season, we are spotlighting incredible local businesses in the midst of powerful transformation. Since you have won so many awards, which is your most proud campaign?
We were awarded a Company of Good, 3 Hearts, a confirmation that the work that we do is not just to make money, but to also do good at the same time. Pro bono or pro bono for charities, organizations, and sometimes we involve our friends.
I want to say, we will hear real uplifting stories of innovation, reinvention, and the human spirit behind Singapore's most dynamic SMEs.
Our values, our corporate purpose.
There's a path for everyone in this land where we belong. I've seen firsthand just how far a business can go if they choose the right partner.
It's not even the right.
It's like that one.
Are you sure? Yeah, wait. Not bad.
I'm a Gen Z, okay?
Oh, wow.
So, let's dive in, be inspired, and say hello possibilities. Let's welcome Miss Pei Lin again, one more time.
Thank you.
So, Pei Lin, I know a lot about her business side, and today we're going to maybe know more about the journey that you went through with your best friend, Julie. It is unthinkable for me how two best friends from school days can work together and still are best friends. It's not always successful.
We were friends since primary school. We became very close in secondary school, and since then, gone through and watched each other go through puberty, literally. Our first boyfriends, failures in school,
Breakup
and work.
also.
Yeah, definitely many breakups. We witnessed each other starting our own families, and even we know each other's parents and families very well, right? I think back then we were very young, and I was in between jobs when my good friend Julie and me were spending a lot of time exploring, discussing, hey, what should we do with our life?
In your early 20s?
We were in our 20s, yeah. And we thought, that was when the dotcom boom just happened. Everyone was starting to go online. And there was a call by the government back then. And so we thought, okay, let's start a business whilst we were young. We explored a lot of things for fun. One of them, of course, was let's start a cafe, let's open a coffee bar.
Every 25 years old wants a cafe bar.
Yes, and then we landed on, hey, let's do a sushi bar, right, in the middle of Raffles Place where people could get a healthy, affordable lunch. Then we said, okay, let's see how much it will cost. And every other idea we came up with had more than $100,000 in capital requirement. So we look at each other, in our 20s and say, do you have $100,000? Don't have. I also don't have.
So why not start a law firm or something?
So she said, hey, I can't do law. In order for a person to do law, you have to go through law school, you have to be called to the bar. And she said, since it's harder to learn law, why not you learn PR? I said, okay, this
I think learnable.
This PR thing shouldn't be too difficult since I hardly went to law school and I passed. So I thought, okay, it cannot be that tough. So I actually bought a lot of textbooks, borrowed textbooks, downloaded
Last time no
books.
online, right? 2005.
Still have, but you could buy online. So there were e-books websites where you can order, and I remember a textbook that really changed my perspective. It was a book called Litigation PR. So that was when I realized that I could actually combine my legal knowledge to do PR. Quite interesting.
Yeah. So forget about the sushi bar.
I mean, the sushi bar needed more than
Yeah,
100,000, right?
this
So
one
I
no need.
asked Julie, hey, do PR, how much do you think we need? And she said, hey, we buy one laptop each. Can we?
Can start already.
But within months, we were able to rent a small 600 square feet space in Cecil Street. And then a year later, we joined APRW, both Julie and me. It used to be called Asia PR dotcoms,
Oh.
like .com.
Yeah, last time
dotcoms very trendy
Yeah, like you call yourself .com, like very start like that.
Yeah, in 1996 when it was founded by our founder. But by the time we met her in 2004, she said the business was doing very badly. The .com bubble has burst.
Yeah.
And all her clients left, right? So she said, I only have two choices. Either I close it down after running it for 7-8 years, or I find people to come in and revive it, right? So both Julie and myself knew her from our alumni, but she was many years our senior.
Which, by the way, is my favorite school in Singapore. What is it called?
Thank you. It's Fairfield. That was when she said, come join me and see if you can revive the agency. We changed the business model and took the decision that APRW will no longer employ any senior account directors, and all directors must have shares in the companies, must be an owner as well. So myself and Julie, we became owners of APRW. We brought in other owners, either from external like us or internal. One of them, it was her first job here at APRW, and 10, 11 years after she joined us, we gave her shares. She's today a shareholder and a proud business owner of APRW as well.
In the last 20 years working together, has there been times that it's like so difficult, or that you all want to throw out the towel?
There were many times where we had conflicts. We've established each other's boundaries. For example, if it is when it comes to actual work with clients, if it is her clients, I will not interfere until she asks me for my views. And then you must pinch yourself and say, okay, let her do it her way, right? And I'm sure she also pinched herself and said, let Pei Lin do it her way, right?
Because two of you are very strong characters.
Indeed.
She is the louder strong. Julie is quieter, more gentle, but also very strong.
But strong nonetheless. Yes.
Julie will tell you nicely, I think orange not really blend now.
We do have conflicts, but one thing, we never fight in public. It's always behind closed doors. We resolve it, nip it in the bud, and address it.
Wow, so we're celebrating 30th anniversary next year, right? And I've seen you pivoted from fax machine, from one laptop to now. So what's next?
Over the years, inevitably, we had to move with technology. But along the way, we realized that if we were able to be at the forefront of it or be ahead, it will help us as we continue to embrace the constant change that we face as a small business. So for example, you're absolutely right. When I first started, we had to use a fax machine.
Yeah.
Like literally.
Oh, we send our artist bio,
Yes.
one by one, and then
Piece by piece. They straight away call the reporter, hey, hello, we are faxing now, please go and pick it up, because the whole of Straits Times only got 2 fax machines.
Yeah.
And if you are not there to pick it up,
Yes.
there will be plenty of other pulp on top of your release, right? And they will never be able to find it.
The editor also tell me, hello, every day you go to the bin, we got hundreds of invite to events, okay?
Yeah, and it was all hard copy back
Yeah.
then using the fax machine. We moved from that to email. We moved to having to come into the office to access files in a server.
Yes.
And then we became, let's do it through cloud.
Yeah.
And we had to learn, where is the cloud? What cloud? And then we,
Yeah.
actually,
I went through all that, yeah.
Actually, until today, I don't really know where cloud is, but
Yeah.
it's somewhere there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I think technology has always been changing. That's the only constant that we face. We are grateful on a few fronts. We have a tech partner vendor that has journeyed with us for at least, I think, 12 to 15 years. And they will also highlight to us every time there's new technologies.
I just got reminded that they were one of the first few clients of Fly who understand how to do influencer marketing. We already started not knowing that it's called influencer marketing.
Yeah.
We're like, they're famous, got a lot of followers. Okay, then they come and do this event, then they do the tour, then ask them to post can.
Yeah, I mean, we were the generation that witnessed the newspaper move online,
Yeah.
right? And then there was this whole era of blogging.
Yep.
If you
Yeah,
recall,
bloggers.
everyone wanted to be a blogger. We
Yes.
had Mr. Brown, Mr. Miyagi,
Miyagi, yeah.
Rising,
Sachet.
Sachet, right? And we have Nafneng,
Yeah.
managing
Yeah,
bloggers.
yeah.
To today, we have
So many-
influencers
There's
and
so many small little
correct,
influencer
micro
agency.
influencers and everyone else doing online sales and
Live stream.
work.
And anyone can be a content creator tomorrow. Today also can.
So I think it's important that we remain open-minded, as I said, to receiving new technologies and working with it.
And working with different style, different
Correct.
things.
Right? You must be able to change.
Two of us we always open to try new things. One thing that I still am very scared is to get out of Singapore because I'm happy to be a big fish in a small pond because I love Singapore and I feel very comfortable. But you are brave enough to go into Indonesia. Why Indonesia and how was it?
First, the courage is not mine alone.
How is it?
It's,
Julia, shall we?
no, I think
For some more people, right?
today there are about 7 of us who are shareholders of
yeah.
APRW. 2017, thereabouts. Everything was about startup. Singapore became the hub. And as a result, there were many new startups that were created here. We became very well known. Fintech work,
Yeah.
Bitcoin work, that area of work. And many of our clients then, they moved their work to Malaysia, to Indonesia, to Philippines, Thailand. When they move there, then they call us to move with them, right? And to do work with them in those markets. So we started to do a lot of work in the region. And as a result, Enterprise SG actually came and knocked on our doors 2019, I remember, and said, hey, why don't you all go overseas? The government will support you. And between all these countries, we had the most business in Indonesia. So we thought, okay, let's go there and start an office there to see how we do. We started in January 2020. By April 2020, of course, we had COVID.
Oh no.
My colleagues were flying to Indonesia in 2019. They were flying once or twice a month there.
Yeah.
That's the amount of work we had.
Yeah.
That we said, sign out. Fine. Let's
Okay.
do it, man.
Confirm market lah.
Confirm Lui Tan, then we go, right? Sekali, start only, I think there's a lot of things I also believe is fated or destiny,
Chinese 人算不如天算.
Yeah, in a way, right?
How would you know, right? Who
We still have to do what we have to
Yeah.
do. So I would say it has been a very tough journey. And yes, we actually only broke even 5 years later, right about now, right? Then we are starting to see things stabilize, clients stabilize. We are grateful to our partners in Indonesia and our clients in Indonesia who continue to support us.
Congratulations for surviving COVID. And to all of you who are watching who survived COVID, congratulations. So you see, you're not alone. I went through, she went through, everybody have to go through that, right? When you started Indonesia, do you only work with Singapore brands, like local brands, or do you take up Indonesian brands as well?
What propelled us to start the journey was because our clients from Singapore moved there and then they said they want to work with us and
Correct.
they gave us that opportunity, for which we are very grateful. We realized very quickly that we cannot just depend on Singapore brands that were there. They also learned that I actually can work with the Indonesia companies there whom some of them may feel know the local market better or may come at a better price point. I think it is very challenging for service providers from Singapore like APRW to establish ourselves.
Penetrate into a new
Yes,
market.
very, very difficult. And we really saw the challenges the last few years. We also learned that when we go overseas, we depend on our fellow Singaporeans to really support us. So in Indonesia, for example, we are very active in the Singapore Chamber of Commerce. It's like clan association like that. You go overseas, you want to try and support each other. I think that's very important. Even in Singapore, actually, we try our best when possible to support the local brands. Supporting business partners like Fly, for example,
Thank
is
you.
important. That we are able to see each other through difficult times.
That's why we
And-
can survive so long.
Indeed. I think that's very important as well. Yeah.
I agree with you, Sis Cho, totally that we must continue to support local brands. Like recently, I met a new friend, and she is the Group CEO of GXS Bank, which is brought to you by Grab and Singtel. They are a homegrown bank. Like us, we are a homegrown company. So let's welcome Pei-Si, Group CEO of GXS Bank.
Thank you.
Yeah. We all know GXS Bank is owned by Grab and Singtel together, which is a very unique a combination, right? So we're very excited to learn about GXS Bank from you, Pei-Si.
We are actually, like you just said earlier, we are a joint venture actually between Grab and Singtel. We are a sort of a startup, but it's been like 4 years now going in operating, and we have actually been growing, actually doubling revenue every year, quadrupling actually our asset every year as well. So we are, yes, young, but excitedly actually growing and growing rapidly.
Would you like to back APRW and Flynet Payment? I think that we can talk more.
Yeah, we can talk more. In fact, actually, one of the biggest segment that we're most excited about is the SME small businesses segment in Singapore. So we've just, in fact, actually launched our SME segment actually within the bank, of which case we hope to be able to bank and back actually even more homegrown businesses in Singapore.
So as SME business owners, I would like to ask you, what do you have in offer for us?
We have already the usual, the operating account that enables you to transact seamlessly. Second is that we also have lending products that helps you to access credit. It helps you to also actually reduce operating expenses, right, as you borrow from us. And there is, unlike I think some today's product, it tends to be a little more inflexible. Ours tend to be a lot more flexible, given that we are actually a digital product.
So in terms of SME support, the loan and all that, how is it different from the traditional banks? You know,
The loan that we've offered out as we call it flexi loan, biz loan, right? In GXS. First, it is calculated daily, so it's a daily interest. So what that means is that if you choose to pay instead on the 30th day, which is the end of the month, you choose because you've got some cash flow coming in and money comes in on the 10th day. You can then pay off the loan actually on the 10th day. Therefore saving interest for the next 20 days. Number two is that with this flexibility also means that you're able to what we call prepay. In our GXS Flexi loan, you don't have to pay a
if
fee.
you want to pay off all your loan, you have to pay some additional
Interest, additional
right?
fees just to pay down your loan, because we understand actually how businesses work. Fact is that you do not know when your cash flow can all of a sudden come in. You also don't know when you need cash flow.
Yeah, but for many startup, right, there's always insufficient credit history. How can the bank help us?
There are really actually two ways. The first is that as a digital bank, and us being able to access into what we call a alternate data, what it allows us to do is to pick up different data that we may have besides your sales turnover, besides how old you have been.
Usually they say minimum 2 years.
That's right. Besides,
P&L,
yes,
right?
besides your credit bureau records, right? Besides those, we pick up actually data from your sales, maybe through information through Singtel. It could be information that you may have actually through Grab or any other partners that we have, or AI, and use AI to then run algorithms to then actually figure out, can we lend you that loan? We are set up as in mandate to try to really actually serve the underserved, the businesses that previously they couldn't get loan. That's what our mandate is. And we'd like to be able to make sure that we set up ourselves to be able to do that.
So basically, APRW and Fly are sort of mature local business.
Yes.
Say now our next phase of our companies, we want to expand. She's already in Indonesia. I'm thinking very far. I'm thinking Malaysia. Of recent years, we've got quite a few projects, especially now with live streaming and all that. So a lot of the talents are very cross borders. So if we want to expand to like neighboring countries, how can the bank support us?
In our group of GXS, group of banks, we are in Indonesia and Malaysia.
Hey, we didn't
rehearse this.
No, we didn't rehearse this.
Yes.
It's a genuine, sincere question that I have.
So we are actually in these two other countries as well. So what that means is that the sister companies that we have across both Indonesia and Malaysia and us, together we can find ways to make sure that we'll be able to help you to manage, I think, the business across. In addition to the traditional banks is the flexibility that I spoke about. We can go for big ticket sizes to small ticket sizes, depending on what you need. That's number one. And number two is that when you go out to the other countries, you also need network. That's when having presence actually on the ground with the banks that you work with is pretty important.
The bank got network also lah.
The bank has
Can help
network.
us lah.
The bank has network. The bank can help because in the other two markets that we're in, we're also growing and expanding. So we're all trying to actually grow together.
Now, you mentioned not just the interest rate, but isn't it a rule of thumb to only get the lowest rate possible?
Well, yes and no. Okay. Yes, interest rate possible, but interest rate itself in banking terms, sometimes we say your interest rate can be calculated monthly,
Yeah.
but your interest rate can also be calculated daily.
Yep.
So obviously, if it's calculated daily, because it enables you to actually pay it out any time, means your interest rate, even if your interest rate is agak the same, it's actually lower when it's calculated daily. So that's actually number one. Two is that, like I say, how quickly, when you have access to funds, when are you able to reduce it? And when you reduce it, will there be fees?
Do you want to be penalized for
Correct.
that?
And then when you draw down the loan again, you take the loan again, will you be asked to pay fees again?
I got a question. Firstly, the last time we tried to explore certain credit line or taking a small loan for the business, firstly, the amount of paperwork was just
Oh yes.
I told a particular banker, you tell me I can bank less and live more, but now I feel like my life has cut a few years just going through your paperwork.
Oh dear.
So that's the first part of it. Very, very tedious. And then I think also for our business structure, as I shared with Irene earlier, ours is a structure where we have many shareholders.
Right.
So today there are close to 7 shareholders in APRW.
Yep.
Now the challenge is when we take out a small loan, then all our 7 directors had to be personal guarantees, had to be personal guarantor for the loan. And that results in each of our credit rating. So some of us who have mortgage to pay, suddenly, we cannot take on more mortgage because of the total debt ratio that we are subject to. It has a direct impact on our personal line. So it is very challenging for us as a small business to try and borrow money. Are there solutions in GXS that straight away I changed my loan to GXS?
First off is that given the today's landscape is quite different. The ease of applying actually for a loan has actually become tremendously easier. So in fact, if you take a loan with us, right, I could give you in minutes, 10 minutes. Okay?
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable, right?
Really, I'm going to try it, really.
Yes, yes.
Unbelievable.
She will one.
Yes, when we're ready actually for you, we will get you in.
There was a particular bank just last year expected us to all take our physical IC one by one, turn up at the physical bank branch, and I said, wow, which era are we in, man, today?
Typically, the old institution, the previous institution, takes some time, right, to get to it. So us being newer than the rest, we've been able to adopt this technology.
Oh, because I mean, you all start with the technology.
So we start
already.
with the technology. We don't need to think about legacy. That's the reason why we've been able to convert so quickly to digital platform.
That makes sense. Makes sense.
As to personal guarantee, how do you get the loan? So depending on the situation and the credit actually of the particular case, we then have to take sometimes more guarantee than before. Because the market like today is a highly volatile one.
So for example, if we have, sorry, I got a lot of questions, sister. It's a real need for us. A lot of our business, for example, is with government agencies, where they are able to issue a year-long or some of them 2-3 years contract to us. But the way they organize the payment, seriously, is you work 1 whole year later, then you get paid the lump sum.
Okay, that I'll give you good news. The good news is that tomorrow, I can already actually lend you monies against the government contracts that you have.
成交.
Okay,
that's it already. End of episode.
Okay, but yes, we'll talk to Pei Lin, okay, right after the show. Yes.
So anyway, thank you so much. I think it's a wonderful closure to this segment called Ask GXS Anything. Okay, usually it's Ask Singtel, but today it's Ask GXS.
Thank you for having us.
This is what the Irene Ang Show is about. It's about solving our Singapore SMEs issues and also learning from different experts like yourselves. The matchmaking is very successful. So I want to propose a cheers to everyone's Singapore dream and to these trailblazers of possibilities. Yeah.
Say.
watching.